Hold on. Okay. So we're actually going to start standing up, if that is comfortable for your body. If you're feeling tired or you're feeling unwell in any way and you want to stay seated, everything that we're going to do in this next section can be done seated. It's just my concept of my thoughts in the last couple of days have been about the flexibility of the spine. And the flexibility of our spine is our youth. If we can bend forward and we can bend back and we can roll with the physical punches of life, like if we trip and fall, but our body is able to be supple, or we go out and play basketball or tennis and we're not like, oh, my aching back. You know, you want to keep that supple to keep yourself young, but also energetically, the internal part of that, the spine is like the super highway for your body. It talks to your head all the way down to your body. And so you want the energy to be flowing. I hear somebody moving around. Somebody's not moving. Not you, Paul. You're muted. Deb, you're muted. Missy muted. Morris, Karen, Sally, I can't see your thing. Maybe they changed it now. Okay, sorry.
It's all set, Eve. I got it. Thanks.
Thank you. But having that freedom of energetic movement is also part of our flexibility. So if we start by standing up, we're going to start using our spine from a standing position with some movements before we end up sitting down. So I'd like you to stand up with your feet about hip distance apart. And I'm going to bring a picture close to the screen for a second. I don't know if it's backwards. So this is your foot. This is your baby toe. And this is your big toe. Okay. We talked last week about putting pressure on the pad of the big toe and the pad of the little toe and about the center of your heel to give you a strong sense of stability. So if you, for a moment, could stand up and just imagine those 3 points of your foot. And if you look down, you want the space between your second 2 toes to be what is pointing forward, rather than your big toe, because then most likely that will mean your toes are pointing out to the side. So if you turn your foot, your big toes are actually going to be the closest. When you look down at your feet, your big toes are going to be closer together than your heels. Okay, so take a moment to look down at your feet and get those 3 points so you feel really strong and secure. And then bring your attention, we learned this in our Qigong, but it's our center point of our foot. So it's kind of between those 2 points, right under the crescent part of the ball of the foot. So I'm picking my foot up. Sorry, I used the other one. It's right here. So here's the crescent, the croissant looking thing, which is the ball of my foot. And then right under it, in that middle point, between those 2 points I talked about, that's your center of balance. So let your arms hang down by your sides. Find yourself right on top of that point. So you're not really in your heels and you're not in your toes. And let your arms hang long. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw relax. Let your throat relax. And your arms feel heavy and heavier, like you kind of have gorilla arms. They're just hanging down off your body. And going back to the concept of the center of your foot, balancing your body on top of that center of your foot. You might notice here right now how your knees should be slightly bent, but maybe only one of them is slightly bent. So you adjust yourself so that both knees are slightly bent in the exact same angle. And then you let your lower back, I'm going to turn to the side. You let the lower back drop down, and then the energy comes up like you're pulling your abdominal muscles up, like you're zipping up your jacket, all the way up towards your chest. You're pulling the zip up, and then it crests over your shoulders, down your back, long lift. Just kind of feel that rotation as you breathe and relax. With soft knees and heavy arms, you're just going to start to slowly rotate just your arms and shoulder kind of area. Don't even add your hips in yet. Kind of just get that going around side to side. When you get to the next side, stop there and kind of give yourselves a hug around your belly. So the back of my hand is here, and I'm kind of giving myself a hug. Take a deep breath in, fill your belly up, and release. Swing your arms open and change the cross. Breathe in and breathe out. This time when you cross, you're going to hug yourself more near your solar plexus. So breathing in, open your arms up, cross a little bit halfway up your torso maybe, and your arm is a little bit higher now. You take a breath in. And a breath out. Arms switch. And back into the solar plexus. Give yourself a hug. And this time we're going to open our arms up wide and wrap your hands around and grab your shoulders and give yourselves a hug. Really that hug that you really kind of need right now more than anything else. Pull your shoulders in like you're the long lost friend you have not been able to see in 7 months. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out as you switch your arms, switch the cross, and do a hug on the other side. Really give yourself that hug that you need. I know I need one. Whew. Helping ourselves get through this, right? That's all there is to do. And releasing your arms, let them hang heavy. And then once again, start to bring your swaying back. But now you're going to add a little bit more, so you're slightly gently bumping yourself on the body. Your head is still straight right now, but you're getting a nice swing in. Feet are grounded, the center of the foot we've talked about. Add a little bit more of your hip now, like your waist, but not in your knees. Don't let your knees be collapsing. They could be bending a little bit back and forth, and you could be looking over your shoulder. You could be like letting it go. Yeah, those arms are heavy, they're just swaying out, or you could be going slow. You're doing it for your own self. You're making your spine soft and flexible so it can flow. Beginning the sensation of what we'll call our swimming dragon routine, or a set today. Let your hands be loose. Just let them flop. Hit the body each time. And coming back to the center, slowly bringing your arms down, slowly, slowly. And just let them hang by your sides. You take a breath in and a breath out. And just notice the sensation, the tinglings, the warmth. I'm just going to step forward and put my music on. I have forgotten. There's just too many things to do. Sorry. Exit full screen. Get a little music playing. Open this up again. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some hip circles. So we'll put our hands on our hips. Our feet are slightly open. Our knees are bent. And we're just going to start to make gentle circles all the way around. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what it looks like when I'm doing. My bum goes out back. Then my hip goes around. I go to the front. I get all the way over to the other side. Swing my hips around and take a breath in on the way to the front. And I breathe out on the way back. Fluid, water-like. When you come around to the front the next time, you're just going to go in the other direction. You make about 4 circles in the other direction. Really accentuate. If you get to a point that hurts, you're like, ow, you have 2 choices. You could go to it and come out of it a little bit and then continue along. Or when you get to it, you can just reverse the direction and go the other way again. Kind of keep bonking back and forth against that sore point. And everybody, one more time. Centering ourselves up between our feet, we're going to shift our weight to the right side. I don't want you to lean to the right. So if you can't keep yourself up in the shift, this would be a good time to have a chair. Because when I have you pick up your foot, I don't want you to do this, which you can't do if you're standing without anything. So make sure that you can put your weight, and then we're just going to go up on the toe, and we're just going to make little circles with our leg. So I don't want this to be a hard balance for anybody. Round and around. In the other direction. Fluid, soft and flexible. And coming in, now you're gonna pick that knee straight up. So I'm still straight holding into my hip right here, so I'm up. I'm not leaning over. And make circles with your ankles. Like you're drawing a big circle with your big toe, like you have a marker on your big toe. And you're making a big, huge circle O right in front of the foot. And then go in the other direction. Nice, take around, just the ankle. And now you're gonna, like you're kicking something. Kick, kick. Like you're taking your heel and you're kicking something. Rather than kicking something in the butt like this, boom, not this, but this. Ah, like you're hitting the gas pedal. Right? That's your throw. Good. And then to the back. Kick it. Kick it. Kick it. And put that foot down. And if you have a chair, I don't know if anybody's using a chair. There's some blank screen, so we would switch it to the other side. We start by bringing our weight over to the left, standing still nice and tall. My heel comes up, and I just make my circles with my leg. And the other way. Gathering our weight onto the left side. So I'm your mirror, right? This is your left side, it's my right side. Picking that foot up. We're gonna draw those circles with our big toe in one direction. Woo! I got a spot where it's hard for me. Teaches you something about yourself. And then the other way. And now kicking 3 front, kick, 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 and to the back, kick, 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 and put the foot down. We're going to take a wider stance. So it's about shoulder width, maybe a little bit past shoulder width. And hands will go on our hips. And we're just gonna rock from side to side. I bend my left knee, I bend my right knee. And I'm not doing my hip right now. I'm just shifting my weight, Mike. I'm going to turn to the side. So you're just swaying. Breathe in one direction and breathe out in the other direction. So I'm now going to let my hip lead. So my hip, and then my head. And then my hip, and my head. Hip, 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 head. Hands come to the center and we continue. Hip, head, hip, head. My hip is leading the motion. My hands are ready for swimming hands. And now I'm going to let my head be the leader. So it'll look like this. Head, head, hip, head, hip. Head is like heavy and it falls over and it pulls you up. It's like the head is kind of making a figure 8. Head up, down, up. Like you're swimming in a river. Get in touch with your reptilian spine. You're like moving like a lizard or a fish in the water. Make sure you're using your head, not just your neck along with your head. And now I'm going to add my hands. They kind of come out. And they start to swim in front with my head is still being the leader. And they are also making a figure 8. Breathing in up. And then breathing up the other side. Breathing out the other side, sorry. We try to speed that up a little bit so you're just kind of getting that really sanguine, really snake-like motion. Allowing your spine to be totally free, hips are just shaking it free. And then coming down, letting your arms by your side. And take a breath in. And breath out. And settle yourself on the center of your feet again, bringing them a little bit closer together. Your knees are soft. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your jaw is relaxed. And just stand meditatively. Breathing in, arms up. Hands over your head. Bring them straight down, cutting yourself through the nose and the chin, right back to the heart. And now we'll bring our feet a little bit closer together. And we're going to start that same motion. Hip, hip. So my knee is bending towards the direction that I'm going. So it's kind of throwing my hip a little bit forward. I'm going to turn to the side just to make sure that you see that. Left side, right side. Left side, right side. Right? You start to let the hip take hold of the motion a little bit. Start to let the head take over the head now. So the head is starting to leave the motion. Arms are right into your chest at this moment, using your shoulders. And then adding the hands in that swimming motion. Feeling your spine loosening with every movement, becoming more snake-like. And then releasing our hands. We're going to start a little bit different motion. We're going to swing our arm forward with our hip, like a buckaroo, like I'm whipping out, I grab out, and then I pull it back. Then I swing out, grab, and pull right into your belly. Reach and pull. Reach and pull. Pulling that stability, the sense of balance and safety, ability to be resilient in this time. Keep that swimming motion. So now we're going to grab and reach towards our heart now. Grab and pull it into your heart. Heart center. Your ability to balance yourself, to remain calm, to remain upright. Now I'm going to try to keep the arms moving so one goes in, the other comes back. And next time you reach up, we're going to reach and bring to our brain, like bring to our mind. Pull it in, the clear thought, like sparkling stars, intuition, insight, trust. And back towards your heart center, bringing in the love that you need right now. Into the belly. Feeling grounded, strong, safe. And now hands will rest on the belly. Knees are soft. Feet are close. And just allow yourself to sway and move in a natural way. Take a breath in. Center yourself back on the center of your feet. Knees are soft. Lower back is long, belly is lifted. Back and chest are open. Jaw is slightly loose, chin is dropped. Neck is long in the back. Just follow your breath in and out. When you're ready, you can move yourself to a seated position, which could be either on a mat or in a chair. Just settle yourself down for a few moments. Take a few breaths on your own. I'm gonna move this down. Maybe a little too low. Sorry. That's weird, isn't that? Let me put it up here. Sorry. So moving through now to continue on with the concept of flexibility of the spine. We're going to do a short series of exercises in the style of Kundalini Yoga. I'm trying to get my timer. And in Kundalini Yoga, it's usually a moving, whether it's a physically moving action, hi Eric, a physically moving action, or it's a breath moving action. So it allows the internal energy to be really what we focus on rather than the shapes of our body. If our tree pose is right, or our warrior pose looks this way, or all of these poses activate the same channels that those poses activate, but they usually do them in a movement-based activity for a certain amount of time. Okay, so I like the parameters because then you just kind of do it. And if you need to slow down or you need to take a moment, you got the amount of time to do it for yourself. It's not for me, it's for you, right? We know that. All right, so we're gonna sit in easy pose. I don't know if anybody's in a chair. If you're in chair, you're just gonna have your hands will be down, your feet will be down, just like that for this exercise. And we're gonna do pelvic rotation. And so what that is your hands are on your knees and you roll, just like we were doing before with our hips, but now we're kind of doing it with our middle of our waist here. And it's like you're a coffee grinder. So you're going around and around. I'm not gonna do this for too long. And also, I don't always do everything. So just because I stop doesn't mean you should stop, because you're just going to do it for the amount of time. We're going to do it for a minute. All right, there we go. All right. You're going to breathe in when you go to the front and breathe out when you go to the back. Once again, if you have a little cat spot, don't roll through it, kind of bump around it. Come around it, come out of it, and go around it. Don't hurt yourself. Don't go into pinchy spots. This activity opens up your lower spine, which you can really feel. I'm really using my stomach. I'm pulling my stomach back. I'm really using my energy here. And I can certainly at any time pick up the speed if that's what I feel like doing. You're just going to come around to the front and then go in the other direction. I like to tell the kids I teach that if you have any bad thoughts, and right now is a really important time to let go of sadness. And I'm really having some issues that I'm working with on this. It's very prevalent. So it's a really powerful time to let go of past sadness. That's what the stars have aligned to tell us. So believe it or not, use that as a sign. Breathing in the front, breathing out to the back. Just a few more times. And then coming around to the front. And we're going to move right into flexing. And we're using the mantra Sat On the inhale, and nam, N-A-M, S-A-T, pronounced S-U-T, sat, and nam is on the exhale, and it's sat as you pull yourself forward, nam as you rock back. Sat, nam, and you can say that in your head. That's just your mantra in your head. You're breathing in, you're thinking sat. You're breathing out, you're thinking nam. Keeps you focused, keeps you focused, right? If your eyes are closed or you're looking down at the center of your nose, have your eyes looking out your third eye point, like out the middle of your forehead. Sat nam, keep the roll going. This is moving the energy up your spine here, taking it from the lower part of your back, all moving it up towards the middle, empowering your solar plexus area, the seat of your personal power, like your superhero shield, shining right there out under where your ribs separate, that little point right down in there. Maybe pick up the speed a little bit, going a little bit faster. Feeling a powerful breath. Not quite a breath of fire. Just a few more, keep on going, you're doing awesome. Okay, everybody breathe in and pull yourself forward and pick up your root lock, which is your anus, sex organ, and belly button. And pick that up like you're just trying to keep it all in there, like you're not gonna let it out. Hold it there in your belly. Keep the breath for another few moments. And then release everything. We need to do the same exercise we just did for one more minute, but we need to do it in hero's pose, which is when you're sitting on your feet. So I'm going to show you what hero's pose looks like, and then we're going to adapt it so it fits everybody. Hero's pose is this. I'm sitting on my feet. They're not sticking out the sides of my body. If that is not possible for you, having something like a large block or a book may enable you to, now I can sit, so I'm out of my hips. That still might not be enough for you. You could have a bigger block. You could have a big bolster, a big blanket roll. But if that is still not possible, then I'd actually like you to sit in a chair to do this 1 minute so that you're not sitting in the same position. You're not still sitting in crisscross, just for this one activity, okay? So if you can do a hero's pose of some sort, and then if you cannot, you'll take a chair. And we're just going to do the same activity, but it brings it up higher in the back when you're sitting this way. So you're breathing in, you're pulling your chest forward, breathing out, rounding back. And my chin doesn't go up and down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. You'll feel that's kind of really activating up here in the back, right? Breathing in, going forward, and breathing out, going back. Creating more flexibility and openness in your spine, softening, doing nothing with effort, do everything with ease. Really feel your back is moving you, like you're not using your shoulders to make it happen. It's because the way down near your bum, your spine is starting to activate and it's like slithering up and down your spine. Just a few more. Once again, everybody's going to take a breath in and pull themselves forward. And at the same time, zip up that root lock, like you have a zipper under your body and you're just going all the way up to your belly button. You just kind of hold it all in right there. Pull your chin in a tiny bit, drop your shoulders. Hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You can now go back to a crisscross position. And we're going to continue working up the spine by activating our neck, which most times we do neck rolls, but I'm going to break down the roll a little bit first. So I only want the neck to be working. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to drop our chin towards our chest and look down towards the crisscross of our feet probably. And just take a few breaths looking down. In flexion, we're flexing our neck. Now slowly we're going to draw our chin towards the ceiling. We're not going to drop our head so it blunks onto the back of our body. So we're just tilting our neck. So we're just looking back as far as is comfortable. We might be looking up towards the ceiling. And take a few breaths. Allow your jaws to be soft. I feel like it's my facelift when I do this. I feel like everything's pulling back. And bringing your head to the center. We'll look to the right. Eyes just stay with the nose. So as far as you can turn. And take a breath in. Soften your armpit, soften your shoulder. To the center and to the left side. Chin drawing over, softening that armpit, softening that shoulder. And back to the center. Now we're going to do the movement laterally, where I'm going to kind of bring my head down, my ear down towards my shoulder, but I'm not going to collapse my neck. And I often feel, I feel my hips, the stretch in my hip when my neck does that. So you may feel that too, from behind your bottom. And then to the other side. Just a gentle, so you're not going to tilt your head. You're not going to do like a chin thing. Keep your chin facing forward like you have a spotlight out of the center of your chin shining on the wall in front of you. And back to the center. And now we'll take just a few three in one direction, 3 in the other direction of a lazy neck roll. Thinking about those spots. My head went down. My head went sideways. My head is looking up to the ceiling. It's like I'm drawing a big circle with a marker that's on the front of my chin. It's drawing a big circle in front of your body. The circle goes out to the side. It goes up to the ceiling. You're kind of inside the circle. And one more in that direction, and then we'll switch. Nice and slow. Once again, no pinchy points. And then into the other direction. You breathe in when your head goes up. And breathe out when your head goes down. And everybody, one more. When you're done coming to the center, we're going to do some, I call them washing machines. Our thumb is in the back of our shoulder and our fingers are towards the front and our elbows are up. And it's basically, we're going to breathe into the left and breathe out to the right. We take our head right with us, not further than us, but just right along with us. And you want to swing freely. So you kind of, once you can be slow or fast, but you want it to be going side to side. Like you're like one of those old center washing machines. It's like swish, 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 swish. Yeah, and breathing in to the left and breathing out to the right. You can close your eyes or keep them open. You don't have to be aggressive. Just make it fluid, side to side. Make each side even. And come into that sat nam as your body is moving. Keeping your focus. Coming to the center, take a breath in, hold it, zip up your root lock. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release your arms, put them into your lap, and just notice the circulation of energy, especially that around your heart. So we have practiced in the last period of time, we practiced breath of fire, which is a short inhale and a short exhale with your nose, using the strength of your the pulling in of your belly to expel the air out of your nose. So we had practiced last week by starting by just sticking our tongue out and doing a panting motion. Put your hand on your belly and notice when your belly goes in. The belly goes in when the air is coming out your mouth. That's a pretty drying breath. So if we can bring that up to our nose, we can do the same concept of a breath in and then the breath out. You try to do it for as many moments as you can. And then when you need to take a breath, like if your heart starts to race and it starts to make you feel uncomfortable, you can let it go and just go back to regular breathing. If you want, you can always continue in long, deep breathing instead of the breath of fire. But we are going to go into cobra pose. So if you're having on a mat, we're going to do a sphinx or a cobra, mattering how flexible or how you feel like doing your yoga. So sphinx is when you're lying on your tummy and your arms are at 11. So look down and make sure your thumbs are not too close together. Now, somebody here may be really into like stretching up in their yoga. I don't know your practices. So I'm going to say you could also, of course, hands under shoulders, and you could push yourself up to a small cobra or a full cobra with arms stretched out. That's up to you. If you're sitting in a chair, and that's obviously not going to be on your belly, you're just going to put your hands behind you a little bit, and you're going to lift your chest up while you do this. And you're not going to let your head drop backwards. You're not going to be back here. You're going to be looking forward. And that to the side looks like this. Okay, so everybody's in their position of cobra. I'm sorry, let me stop this. And then you're going to start a nice rhythmic in and out inhale. In, out, rhythmic. Whatever your in and out is, it's your rhythm. It's not my rhythm, but you want to try to keep it nice and consistent. Eyes are 3/4 of the way closed. You're looking down the tip of your nose. Make this easy. Don't make it a chore. Get out of your head. It's powerful, but it's not hard. Make sure your chin is level. You're doing beautiful. Keep up. Keeping up helps us dispel the blues. Remember, I told you it's a time to get rid of your sadness. This is a great breath to help get rid of sadness. Do it for a minute. The moment you start to feel sad about something, and you will be on to another thought by the time you are done. Keep going, 30 more seconds. Try to pick up your speed if you can. Stay with it. Everybody take a breath in. Pull in that root block. Pull the energy all the way from the root block, all the way up to the top and over the top of your head. And then as you breathe out, letting it slide back down your back, all the way down to your root. And then bring your hands down, and you're just going to take a little rest right there on your back, on your tummy for a moment. Hand over hand makes a good pillow. If you're sitting in a chair, you can obviously just put your hands right down on your lap. Or if you have a table in front of you, you can put your arms up on a table and put your head down. Yeah, just put your hands. If you don't have anything to lean on, just put your hands on your lap. That's fine. Just take a rest. You can now start to move around a little bit on the floor, and you're going to end up rolling yourself over to be on your back. We're just going to do a few back stretches here, and I'll show the chair in just a moment. And it's bridge pose, basically. We're lying on our backs with our feet, our knees bent. My fingertips, because I have long arms, can easily touch the back of my heels. It could be your body is different than mine. So just understand that. You don't need to see, you can just see it's a gentle bend here. Breathing in, I'm going to lift my hips up. And breathing out, I'm going to bring my hips down. Breathing in up. And breathing out down. I like to feel that first thing that happens is my knees pull me a little bit up off the ground. And then I open the space up behind the back of my knees for my full expression. And then as I breathe out, vertebra by vertebra, as long as I don't have really bad back issues, don't do that. If you don't, just come straight down. Rolling out my sacrum. And then breathing in again, I pull away. It's like a wave once again, like the water, the fluid, the spine, flexible, resilient. And please keep going. I didn't give the modification for the chair, so please keep going if you're on the floor. If you're on a chair, it's just going to be a concept of breathing in up and breathing out down. You're just going to have a little flow like that if you're sitting up. So breathe in, lift up. You want to do about 8 more. Do about 8 more. When you've done 8 more, you're just going to find your way back up to a seated position, whether you rock and roll to come out of your position or you lean over to one side and push your body up. Or if you're sitting in a chair, you'll be done already. Why doesn't everybody do, if they're not done yet, do 1 more? And then call that the right number and find your way up to the seated position. Sitting in an easy crisscross or sitting up in your chair, whichever is going to be where you are. We're just going to bring our hands to our belly. We're just going to relax here. And I just want you to sit quietly and meditate. Be present with the sensations in your body. Increase your sensation, your understanding of the sensation that's kind of vibrating off of your body. I guess if your breath in enlarges you. Try to feel all of your sensations at the same time. You can bring your attention to your breathing and thinking sat on the inhale and nam on the exhale. If your eyes are closed, you're going to blink a few times to bring a little light into your eyes, from the outside. We rub our hands together to make them warm, heating up that heart line that connects all of us. So I read a quote earlier. I learned, so it says, dancing has an immediate effect on our mood. Moving in a group together in rhythm increases group harmony. So when we move together, we're not separate. So I really thank you all so much for coming and moving with me and creating this beautiful connection for all of us. I thank you so much. I can feel, oops, my timer. So I'm rubbing my hands to make them warm. I put my hand over my heart, my other hand on top. And with deep gratitude, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really enjoyed teaching. I felt the spirit. So thank you all so much and have a wonderful evening.